A's have had their problems lately, but the real reason they may seem more vulnerable is the emergence of the Kansas City Royals. The Royals began a road trip last week that has been nothing short of remarkable, and as today's game got underway, the Royals were 5-0 against the four-arm bashers from Oakland, Alameda. Oakland, great defensive effort at times. Kurt Stillwell sends a fly to right center, bobbled and bobbled again, but finally caught. But it was Kansas City's offensive hit attack that made the difference. Tabler subbing for George Brett, singles, and Willie Wilson. It's 1-0 the Royals. Still in the fourth, Frank White with a line drive to left. He'll single in another run. It's 4-0 Royal Blue after 4.5. Bottom of the fifth, Glenn Hubbard at bat for Oakland. A shot toward first. Tabler commits the E on the Chesterfield scoreboard. 2 runs will score. Now suddenly the A's making a move. But in the sixth, Gene Nelson pitching in relief. Frank White with a home run, his third of the year. That made it 9-5 Orioles. They would not look back and go on to win again. And the A's lead has now been cut to 4.5 games. The Athletics have scored, by the way, just 9 runs in their 6 games they played so far this year against Kansas City.
And now we've got a race. And today in Oakland, the streaking second-place Royals were looking for a sweep and bolted ahead 4-0 when the A's put 2 on in the fifth, and Glenn Hubbard hit a bleeder that trickled right through the legs of Pat Tabler, who was subbing for George Brett. 2 runs scooted home. Oakland scored again, had cut the lead to 1. But Frank White led off the Royals 6 with a shot off reliever Gene Nelson to give Kansas City back some cushion. Meanwhile, Royals starter Mark Dubaza was settling in beautifully. Here, one of his 5 Ks on the day, this one looking. Then, Tabler stepped up to the plate in the 8th and socked a single to play 2 more. Tabler drove in 4 to wipe out that fielding mistake, while the Royals banged out 17 hits, most off Oakland pitching all season. The Royals came into Oakland and swept the A's, have won 6 straight now, and chopped the Oakland lead down to 4.5.
Well, when you do beat a team 2-3 times in a row, I think you start to feel certain teams you're playing, and you know, I'm sure they have that feeling against us, and you know, we're going to see them again. It's a long season.
We're getting the clutch hits, playing good D, and they're getting a real good pitching, so it makes for a good streak right now.
Not that this is a crucial series, but I just think that it's important for them to know that you can play well enough in the big games to win those big games.
Well, George Brett was on the bench because of what happened last night when Oakland's Bob Welch fired a fastball inside and plucked Brett on the hand. X-rays today showed nothing broken, but Brett has a deeply bruised and bandaged hand that is expected to miss several days. But today, the torrid Royals didn't even notice his absence when they cleaned house in Oakland. Also this afternoon and down the coast in Anaheim, the Angels' Kirk McCaskill struck out 10, hurled a 3-hitter, won his first game in 5 weeks.
Cincinnati, Glenn Davis was a stud, period. First pitch. That ball is going to be at bat for Davis in the third. Out of here again. Another 2-run shot off Mario Soto. 4-0 Stros. Soto is, to say the least, bummed. Now, another Davis is Eric the Red. Now, he gets a little tater happy as well in the 6th.
Jays are cruising up 3-0 in the 2nd. Big night for the bats. Ernie Witt, who simply kills the Detroit Tigers. He is from Detroit. His 20th
game of the lead in the West, and Houston went right to work when Glenn Davis got his arms extended over the plate and mashed a Mario Soto fastball. There was a man on. He and Davis both trotted home. 2-0. In the 3rd, Soto to Davis again, and here it went again. Another crushing
3 hits
and 4-0 lead. Soto disgusted that nothing was working against Houston's cleanup man. Mario was gone on the 7th, though, when Billy Hatcher came up, cracked one to left center. Eric Davis, the big run from center, cuts it off with a backhand stab. Nice move. His momentum carrying him away, so he flipped to left fielder Cal Daniels. But the element of surprise plus a bad toss resulted in this. Hatcher got the green light, charged in, and flew full force, hit the plate ahead of the throw for an inside the park homer. Houston starter Mike Scott pitched into the 8th, left with a hamstring pull, but the Astros shook off Cincinnati to move to within 1 game of the Dodgers.
The Blue Jays bats were also on fire. Ernie Witt stroked 4 of Toronto's 15 base hits. Witt also drove home 4 of the Jays' 13 runs in a 13-5 rout of Detroit and Jack Morris. Tigers also aided the cause by committing 5 errors. Boston hurlers issued 10 walks, and the Orioles collected 10 hits, including 3 by Jim Traber, who drove in 3, as Baltimore topped the Red Sox 8-4. Kirk McCaskill 3-hit Texas, and the White Sox trimmed Milwaukee. Only 2 games in the National. At Cincinnati, it was Davis night. Eric of the Reds and Glenn of the Astros each hit 2 home runs as Houston topped Cincinnati 7-4. Each of Glenn Davis's clouts were 2-run jobs. In Atlanta, the West-leading Dodgers succumbed to the cellar-dwelling Braves 9-2. Ken Oberkfell collected 4 of Atlanta's 18 hits with 3 RBIs. The Braves ended a 5-game skid.